Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. It is time for the Wrasslin for Life tier list with your host, Willym. And as always, I am joined with everyone's favorite host, KJ White. How are you feeling?
I'm good, man. It's Friday Junior in the books. We got one more to go. People are probably going to hear this again later tonight, but actually, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, Thursday's down. We're into Friday. The week's coming to a close. The weekend's here. We got a doubleheader tomorrow. We got Impact tonight, tier list today, and of course, all the content on the weekend, including might be doing two independent pay-per-views tomorrow on Saturday. So stay tuned, folks. We'll let you have more details and lots to come. So yeah, great mood, Will.
Yeah, so as you might have seen on this little blue banner here, today it's about the Universal Championship and all the little reigns that has come from that reign. Yeah, not a lot of people have held this title, um, but obviously we're gonna rank them all today. So yeah, leave your opinions in the chat. Well, and where you think these people should be ranked,
That's
and
all of them.
that is really all of them. Brock
That
Lesnar,
is
The
all of
Fiend,
them.
Finn Balor,
Holy,
Goldberg, Kevin Owens. Yeah, it's all of them.
I feel like
I didn't
yeah.
I didn't miss any of them.
No, I believe you, man. It feels like there's been more, but yeah, I mean, Universal hasn't been around that long, so
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, man, let's do it.
All right. So, uh it's a little out of order, so let's go the champions in order. Let's go the first champion, Finn Balor.
I don't know where we put. He'd be.
He only held it for like 22 hours. So,
Yeah, he's got to be like a D for me.
yeah, I mean,
Like
it's a
maybe not as
shame.
people are going to jump on that, but not as a wrestler, but as a Universal Champion. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be like, "Well, wait a minute, Finn's a good wrestler, blah 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 blah," but it's like as a universal champion, he he only held it for a day, so it's
Right.
not like we really have any choice.
And ever since he gave that title up, he's never regained the status he had. I don't know why, but they just soured on him, and they don't. The guy's doing jobs all the time. How many times has he lost to Austin Theory? Three, four,
I think about 4 or 5. I mean,
four or five? What?
4 or 5, yeah, it's
Right? Like,
insane.
jeez, that was a
But
rough
yeah,
go.
I mean, yeah, he came in, he debuted on the main roster in, like, July of 2016, and then within a month, he was world champion over there, but since he got injured, it was just like he had to give it up, and then ever since then, he just was never able to recapture that magic.
Yeah, never got it back. Never got booked well. Never got highlighted. We had the saddest part for me is they buried the demon for 2 years. They finally let it loose just to lose.
Yeah, that Extreme Rules match pissed me off. It was just like that demon thing was supposed to be like the unbeaten version of Finn Balor and like only for personal rivalries. For one, the Roman versus Finn rivalry wasn't really all that personal. It was more like the third wheel towards Brock, and then he lost in a stupid way, the rope break.
Yeah, like the dumbest thing never got explained. Never understood what happened. Yeah, it was just dumb. The whole thing, it was poorly done. And I mean, if Finn was finally going to break out the demon, I think we all imagined that the demon was going to um, kick a hole in someone's chest. They shouldn't have booked him against Roman. The demon should have came back against somebody that was beatable at the time.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. So yeah, Finn Balor unfortunately is a D tier Universal Champion.
There you go.
What about good old KO?
Ooh. His title run wasn't great.
No.
Um, I mean, I like that he got it. He kind of got it by weird means too, and then never really came back around. Um,
He was on TV every week though with Chris Jericho, and he was amazing.
he was really good with Jericho. Maybe I'd go as high as D. Is that a D? I feel like I'm doing an eye test. B.
B
There we
right
go.
here. Uh,
Third one under
yeah,
A.
it's B. Sorry, I had to make sure I fit everything,
No, no
in the
worries.
screen. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, KO was on TV every week. He was amazing. Well, not really amazing because he would always need outside interference to win. He was like the face of Raw. He was he was sick. But yeah, I mean, the outside interference, it wasn't really all that great. Um, yeah, I'll go B. I'll go B with good old KO on there.
We KO was the first to validate the Universal, I feel.
He was, yeah, definitely. He made the title look important, feel important, you know, and all the rivalries with Seth, Roman, all that stuff. The one thing that pisses me off is that it should have been KO versus Chris for the Universal title at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I think it would have been a sick match, or like since they love double title matches so much for the Universal and US title, since both of them had them.
yeah. Why not,
So
right?
yeah, that would have been pretty sweet, but then, of
Mhm.
course, Goldberg versus Brock, it has to have a title for some odd reason. It's like
Right?
yeah, and that was another thing. That's another thing that I think took Kevin Owens away from A tier, definitely not S tier, is the fact that he lost to Goldberg in 23 seconds.
Yeah, another person victim to the comeback win. So yeah, no, I feel bad for KO. I think he deserves better. And to be honest, yeah, I mean, I think KO would have been great for Cody as well. To be honest with you,
Yeah. Oh, there's Chris, Will, and KJ. Let's go.
thought he was saying, "Will KJ go?" Like, pick it up, buddy. KJ.
KJ, get out of here. No. Nick says, Will spitting facts. That was the best story going on. Brock versus Goldberg. Oh, Brock versus Goldberg didn't need the title. Yeah, KO and Chris were amazing when they were together.
Yeah,
Like, and to the next point here, the Festival of Friendship,
it was
miles
amazing.
better. Yeah, I love like when you think of something called the Festival of Friendship, right? You might think, "Oh, this is gonna be cringy. This is gonna be like shitty."
Yeah.
And at first, you had that feel because of the whole casino feel and the little TV screen. But then that heel turn, it was just perfectly executed. So
Oh, it was so good. And then to Chris Jericho's credit, like I mean, he sold it so well, and we all knew it was coming. And then they're like, "Oh shit!"
I just loved the reveal where it's like, "Oh my god, it's a new list. Wait a minute,
Yeah,
why is my name on this?" He lifts it up and it's the list of KO.
yeah.
Oh,
Like
that was
he,
so sick.
like he really needed to turn it around to figure out what was happening. Like it should have. Like he
It
did
should have
well.
popped in his head, yeah.
Yeah, he sold it well. And you know what? There was fans in the building that night that were legitimately disappointed that it actually happened. They were like, "Ah, shit." They were
Yeah,
good,
everyone loved them together. Like, they had great chemistry. Yeah, why is my name on this?
right? Brr, brr. You just made the
Yeah.
list. No, they were good together, man. They really were.
Yeah, so KO, much to Nick's point, he validated the title, but then again, there were things about it that didn't have it worthy of S or A tier for losing to Goldberg, and then outside interference always needed. But he defended it quite a bit, and he was on TV every week. So yeah,
I
B.
don't think it was that long of a run, though.
It was like 180 something days.
Did he go 180 with it?
Yeah, he did a solid few months with it.
Attaboy, attaboy. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's flirted with
So
that A little bit. Yeah.
much to the point, Oldberg, two
Shit.
separate reigns with that title.
Two
What do you
separate
think?
rings. He's a D. Goldberg,
He's a D.
you should have never been in wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the point. It was just either to set up. Here's what I think with Goldberg's Universal title reigns. They were only needed to set up this big match WrestleMania. Let's think about it. Him versus Brock, Mania 33, because it
Mhm.
needed a title match. Him versus Roman, Mania 36, which was supposed to happen, and apparently needed a title match. Those two matches didn't need titles.
No, they really didn't.
Yeah, and then he beats Kevin Owens, and then he
Mhm.
beats the Fiend. Oh, I almost swore. He almost beat the Fiend. No, he didn't almost beat the Fiend. He did. He
He
did
did
beat
beat the
him.
Fiend. He dusted the Fiend.
Absolutely ruined him. Like
Yeah.
this
I mean,
unstoppable monster.
right? Seth threw the whole arena at him to beat him that night. Not what, a week before it happened. He
I don't know.
unloaded. He piled the stairs, hit him with chairs, hit him with the big hammer. Like the Fiend was unstoppable. And then he was stopped. Burn.
Yeah, man left in a stretcher and didn't freaking and didn't wasn't even stopped. He only came back for his son to watch him, and if he was a star, he doesn't need the belt. Yeah, if he's like this big star that can sell tickets and that, you know, oh, he's so good that he can sell out any show. He doesn't need a belt every single time he's in the ring.
No, not at all. He really doesn't. And throughout history, you've had matches that were big that didn't involve the champion. And I think in old school, the thought was if we can get them in the door with the names, we can keep them with the workers,
Yeah,
right? So you put those good matches around. Like if you're tuning into like a Goldberg, whoever bullshit match, Brock, and then either before it or after it, if the WWE catches you with one of those promo packages, you might stick around for a couple minutes just be like, oh, this is interesting. And
yeah.
the hope is the casual fan who tuned in for the big names see, your Universal Champion come out and fight someone else in a great match. But the WWE loves shooting themselves in the foot.
They really do. So yeah, Ulberg, get in the bin. So pretty much, yeah. So that brings us to Brock Lesnar.
Wait, sorry, I got completely distracted by. Are you live at the same time as Ali and AJ? No, Ali and AJ, Ali and LJ. I think I said it twice that time. It's so
I don't know.
it's stuck in my brain. Anyway, Ali and LJ were on about an hour ago.
And yeah, so there's no, we're not gonna be live on the same time as them. That's why we set it to this early. So
Yes.
Ulberg after Hell in a Cell, with you can't use this little hammer, but the giant wacky clown mallet is fine. Kill the Fiend. It was Taker losing the streak and micro. I don't know. I can't. Big words. What did?
Microcosm.
Oh, okay. There we go.
But yeah, I mean, yes, in a microcosm, yeah, it's a bit of a leap to compare it. The streak ending was still so silly. I watched a doc about that, like a show about it the other day, and I was still mad about it. But nonetheless, yeah, you spend so much time and money and effort and people building up that character for Goldberg just to squash it because he's a bigger name on the marquee. And yeah, the WWE universe goes nuts for him, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I never got it.
I don't get it either. I
I
don't
don't
see
know.
what they see in this dude.
No.
Um, Man, good to see you. Hi, Will. Hope the album is going well. It's went well for months, man. But thank you, for the continued support about Judas. But anyways, let's get on to Brock Lesnar.
Yes. Ooh. See, here's the tricky part with Brock. When he was Universal Champion, he wasn't around a lot. It was one of the biggest criticisms of him.
Yes.
And when he was around, he did a whole lot of nothing, and then he would just come out and squash whoever was next. Sorry, Goldberg. Shoot, Brock's a
Yeah,
tough one.
it's really hard for him.
But he had the belt for like ever, right?
He had it for like 500 days.
How do you feel about Brock?
Um, Universal title. See, the difference is, yeah, he wasn't around much, but he was kind of dominant, and
That's the other part.
yeah, he was actually. You got to give credit where credit is due. Like with Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman. Nick thinks Brock goes to A tier. Roman on God tier. Spoiler alert. Yeah, but with Brock, um,
You kind of want to put him at A, just because of who he is, what it meant, and when he did show up, he was devastating. But remember the nights where they're like, Brock's gonna fight, then he was like, I don't want him, and you were like, what?
yeah,
I mean, could you justify putting him at a B? I don't know, but he had the belt
Nah,
for, fucking
he
eons, so yeah.
yeah, he had it forever and he faced some big names. That's
It's
what
a tough
makes
one.
him
I
greater
wanna
than KO, I think. Brock defending that title less times a year than WWE has roster cuts.
Yeah, but no champion should defend the the title that often, Nick. There was a lot of roster cuts, so I don't think any champion
Yeah.
is gonna be defending 150. Ugh, it's crazy.
Yeah, so, yeah, Brock was pretty dominant and of course, he had a Money in the Bank cash in that resulted in him being Universal Champion once. Um, he had 3 separate reigns, which I
Yeah,
think is the most in Universal title history, if I'm not
I
mistaken. Yes, it
believe
is.
so.
And, yeah, I think that's what makes him A-class. And who beat Brock the first Oh, it was Roman Reigns. Boot doo 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 doo. Get your way up here.
Well, yeah, you could have just done him first and got it over with at this point.
Pretty much. I mean, do we need to say anything about it? Obviously, his first title reign ended with him having leukemia, and then, of course, after COVID and everything, he came back, took back the Universal title, and ever since then, wow,
Yeah,
the tribal
next level,
chief,
next level.
tribal chief, all the names he's beat: KO, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, um, bro, I don't even
Edge,
remember. Edge, Cesaro. Um,
Usos,
yeah, Jey Uso.
Jay. He
Big
didn't get to Jimmy.
I don't think he got to Jimmy.
No,
I think they set that up, but they never really did it.
the DUI changed all that.
Rey Mysterio and Big E in a non-title match, but those names are insane.
Yeah, it says a lot, right?
Yeah, so obviously, I think anyone who came into this video could have expected this. Roman is S tier.
Yeah.
Nick,
Should
oh
be.
sorry,
No,
continue.
it is. Just gonna say you should be. I think so.
Nick says Brock over KO because him versus Rollins and him versus Drew were big moments.
True.
Uh, him versus Drew was the WWE Championship, though. That's the difference.
Ooh. Ooh.
And Nick again, still crazy to me. He went from boot out of the building to the only thing you care about on WWE.
Right?
Cowboy Brock, man.
Well, not only, but I mean, even Roman. I mean, and Brock, to his credit, that rivalry they had for the last little while here, and Paul being involved, I thought it was great. I thought it was good. A lot of people, the haters want to, shit on Cowboy Brock, but Brock was fun. He was entertaining. He was funny. He was mean, but he's Brock, and he went from laughing and telling jokes to throwing car doors into the audience. Like shit,
Yes.
man.
And carrying car doors.
Right?
Jimmy couldn't pass the sobriety test to face Roman. Sorry, I had to.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, if you can't beat the drug test, join the originator of the drug test failing Roman Reigns.
But yeah, man, Roman is on a different level, and it is funny. They booed him for all the wrong reasons. It's kind of like Cody at AEW, right? Like
Yes.
Roman had a choice: keep trying the same shit, we keep trying, or let me be me. And it worked. It worked, and Paul helped it, but it works.
Yeah, Roman not was, is like the biggest thing in WWE right now. And he still is holding that championship high now
Mhm.
with the WWE championship. It will be insane to see who, if anyone, can beat Roman Reigns and
Yeah.
how.
hmm
Which,
And
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Which brings us
I was
to,
just going to add quickly. The only thing I was going to say was and whether the AEW fans or other wrestling fans like it or not, as
yes.
far as he's at the top of the food chain in the biggest company in the world, the most profitable company in the world with the biggest reach, that puts him at that echelon. You might want to say he's not the best worker, the best wrestler, but as a pro wrestler, technically, or a sports entertainer in this case, he's getting the job done, and his heat is over. So he's up here. It's hard to argue with.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to argue with. So, yeah, whether you love him or you hate him, Roman Reigns deserves to be in the S tier. in terms of
He might
Universal
be alone
Champions.
up there.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. What about his Shield buddy, Seth freaking Rollins?
Ah, I'm trying to remember specifically Seth's Universal title run.
Yeah, well, he won at Mania 35,
Yes.
and
Oh,
then
okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, then, he had a feud with AJ, which was kind of
Mhm.
underwhelming.
A little bit.
Then he had that weird thing with Baron Corbin and
Yeah, he did.
Becky and Lacey Evans and shit,
Yep.
and then he got cashed in on by Brock. Then the whole time he was feuding with Brock, then took the title back, and then the whole Fiend things happened. So his title reign was kind of in the subject of controversy, bad storylines, bad booking, of course, with that Hell in a Cell, like
Do we
with
put
the
him at a B or a C? Or is that a B?
um, yeah, that's a C right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
No, it's just
yeah, it's
the
hard.
no, it's just the one middle one. What letter is the middle one?
The yellow
The
one?
third one.
Oh, the third one's B.
Okay, I thought so. Okay. I'm losing my mind.
The
I'm
one,
getting old, man.
yeah, the
My
one KO's on is B.
yeah, okay. Thought so. I lost.
Um, yeah, I think he's either a B or a C. I mean, Seth, like I said, subject to controversy. The Becky Lynch storyline was crap. It's like Sammy and Ty right now.
Yeah.
We're just like, hey, here's a big couple that's trending, and we got to have them tag together or something. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, it was a bit underwhelming, like you said. Even the AJ thing was underwhelming. That angle, the way it played out. So I mean, it's average at best,
it's
uh,
really hard to.
and just for anyone tuning in right now, like I know everyone's listening, he's either a B or a C. We're not doing what you think we are. We're just being human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you call this one, buddy.
Uh, I just see.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
I think the bad booking and everything and his horrible face run during this reign, like when he was a babyface, horrible.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I just think it was too controversial. It was too bland, too boring, too forgettable. I mean, hell, you started off being like, "Wait, I'm trying to remember."
Literally, like I had to think about, okay, yeah, I remember when I remember the win, but then what else happened? Like I felt like in somewhere in there he had did he fight Mysterio for the Universal title? Or am I making that up?
No, that was Roman.
Roman did, yeah.
That was
All right.
Roman.
But yeah, very forgettable. It really is.
Yeah, much to Nick's point, well, he thinks that he should go with KO. I mean, he had it, but you can't remember anything about it. I remember more about KO's reign than Seth's
Yeah,
reign, in my opinion. I
absolutely.
remember way more.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. Next is the Fiend.
Ooh, see, I'm so biased on this one, but
I'm
his
so biased
reign,
too.
I don't know how great his reign was, and it stopped abruptly.
I mean, he had a good thing going with Miz and Bryan first,
Yes.
and then the Goldberg thing happened,
You know,
so he wasn't champ that long there. Then he won it back from Strowman at SummerSlam,
yes.
and then Roman beat him a week later.
It was a week, right? Like, yeah. So as a
Yeah.
champion, they just didn't let him have the belt. That's where we were. I remember, and actually, Chris would be kicking around somewhere. I remember being so pumped that he got it back. Like, oh shit, this is good. They figured it out. They fixed their mistake. That's allowed. All right. And then Roman came back, and it was the beginning of the age of Roman, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of lackluster. Maybe C because of the way he won them, or D because it just sucked.
I definitely don't. Well,
I don't
oh
think you can go B with him just because he didn't.
no, definitely not
Oh,
B.
right?
I'll go C. I
Fair
mean,
enough.
n- it's not bad in terms of Finn or Goldberg, but
Mhm.
it was kind of like Seth's. It was bland, forgettable, but in this way, it was fast. Um, yeah. Nick says KJ, him and Ray had that awful eye for an eye
That's
match with
what I
that
was
ping pong
thinking
ball.
about.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, but he wasn't champ then.
He had everybody
So
running around with eye patches on. It was like, what is going on? Now
yeah,
AEW has
Alistair Thomas says started with G, went down to D.
right.
Yeah. Nick said the Fiend's run gets in the bin because he never, ever, ever needed the title. He could be like Taker, a guy that transcends needing the strap.
I agree. Ding.
Yeah, so I don't think Fiend gets in the bin, but he's definitely way close to the bin
He's got
because of
one
the
foot
way he's
in for
treated.
sure.
He was 1 foot in. I think if there was a third reign and it lasted like 3 days,
Yeah, and I'm going to be straight up. I think if one of the other guys had, the identical reign or duration and booking, I might put them in the bin. I give Bray a little bit of slack because I'm a big fan. So,
same here.
and I think if nothing else, the short stints, they're memorable. We're still talking about the Fiend. We're still whispering about when Bray's coming back. Like he's the most whispered about guy going for a long time now.
Yeah. So yeah, that only leaves one more Universal Champion, probably one of the most forgettable on this list, Braun Strowman.
Oh yeah, Braun Strowman. Shit, man. Fuck.
He wasn't even supposed to win that title in the first place. That was supposed to be Roman right there.
Right.
He got replaced at Mania 36 because Roman was like, screw COVID.
Right. How long did he didn't have it that long?
No, no.
I'm
I
gonna
think it
look.
was more than 100 days, but not. How long was Braun Strowman? It was right here.
Interesting.
Here we go.
Okay.
141 days.
So okay, a little longer than I thought. Um, I didn't particularly like him as champion, but more it's hard. They didn't book him right, and then that's where sometimes it's not their fault. But as a champion, I mean,
Yeah.
100 days. I think he is it slightly better than the Fiend and Seth.
I don't know because he was stuck in the same old weird feud with Bray nearly the entire duration of his run.
Yeah,
And I think he was in this weird storyline with Miz and Morrison in the middle of it, if I remember
yeah.
correctly.
Do you remember that nonsense?
Yeah, I remember that. I think that was his first title defense, if I'm not mistaken. But
It might have been actually.
Brawny Choo Choo needs to go to the bin, and then that bin gets put in a landfill, and then that landfill is stuck into the ocean.
See, now for me, that's the opposite of what just happened with Bray. Is I think we're naturally inclined to be like, oh, like it's like Ryback for me, right? You see Braun, and you don't really like the guy, so you don't even want to give him that kind of sympathy, right? Like you're just like, yeah, it sucked. Um,
Yeah, so yeah, it's so forgettable. I mean, even with the feud with Bray, you didn't need a title for. It was just you could
yeah,
have left it on its own, the personal issues between two former family members, two former stablemates. So
yeah, it could have been simple, straight up grudge match, easy peasy.
and just the fact that Braun wasn't really supposed to win the Universal Championship as well. He was just a last minute replacement. It makes it even less like accomplishable.
Yeah, you weren't exactly acknowledged as the guy. You were just kind of the guy in the right place.
Yeah, you were just you it's kind of like you're in the top 5 in the UFC and the
Hmm.
number 1 contender's out. So it's just like, "Hey, we need you."
Yep.
It's like you're
Yeah.
not the guy. You were just lucky enough to be the next best option.
Right. You're filler, bro. You're filler.
So it's either C or D for me. I mean, it's your call, I guess.
Ah, I just feel like it was because of the duration of it. Um, and
Yeah, it's really hard.
yeah, I mean, the natural inclination is put them in the bin, but the two in the bin had, it was very, it didn't amount to much at all. So I'll put them in C. I'll put them at par with the other two shitty runs.
Yeah, I mean, it was shitty, but it lasted long, so it's not really on the caliber of Finn and Goldberg. So I'll definitely agree with that. Broncos and C, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm good with
So
that.
yeah, that's it. I mean, that was how short the Universal titles history is.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we have Roman at S, Brock at A, KOB. C is the most with Seth the Fiend and Braun Strowman. D is Finn Balor and
Mhm.
Goldberg for obvious reasons. Yeah, so that's it already.
Do you find it funny that like 5 out of 8 guys are in the bottom two?
Yeah, I mean, I do find it funny. Just goes to show that the Universal title doesn't really have that good of a reputation.
Right? Like really, like over 50% of the title reigns we deem as meh at best. That's
Yeah,
crazy to me.
I think that title's cursed.
It might be. It actually might be. So
Yeah.
no, I think it looks I mean, there's not much I would change on that. I mean, there's a couple debatable points, but overall I think that's how I see it.
Yeah, I think I agree with every single one of these, in my opinion. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode number 141 of the Wrestling for Life. No, 101. I keep
101.
it. Sorry, 141. I was thinking of the Braun Strowman reign. My bad. 101. Sorry. Of
Yeah,
the Wrestling for Life Network. That is insane. I was not on the stream, but thank you
me either.
so much. We are now. Thank you so much for subscribing and everything, and sticking with us and watching every single moment.
Mhm.
And yeah, essentially from the bottom of my heart and bottom of every single heart on the team, I think on behalf, thank you. And we're gonna continue doing this for many, 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 many episodes to come.
Yeah, we're just getting started, folks. Tip of the iceberg. And Will, beautiful words. And yeah, man, like I know if you're watching this live or recorded, I just want to say thank you for even giving us a minute of your time. We do always appreciate it. And the fact that some people have heard, we've avoided our story just out of we don't have time for that kind of energy, but we spun around and launched this channel because we had no choice and we didn't know what we were going to do. And I remember having a meeting with you and LJ, and we were just,
Yes.
oh shit, what's going to happen? And this sucks. And we were all bummed out, and we were just like, let's do it. Let's go. And that night we were up, and you look at some of
Yeah.
the old thumbnails and a couple of the old watch parties that we started, and you see the trials and tribulations. But we're 100 deep now, and the only reason we're 100 deep is the people that tune in and watch us and make this worth doing it. So thank you to everybody, and huge thank you to the fam. Like you look at last night, we had one of our fans, technically one of our supporters, join us to do a watch party. We always want to be inclusive and have everybody involved. This is about family. But like today we had LJ and
Ali.
Ali go live. Sorry, Ali, go live. And then now you got me and Will tonight. I'm not even quite sure who's going to be there tonight yet, but we'll talk about it. But
Yeah.
our boy Chris kicking around as well. And we've added to the team. We got guys out there like Nick and Raffman, and the list goes on. I don't want to, miss anybody. So thank you to everybody for making these shows fun. And I know I'm long winded, and it just means a lot. Like it's crazy to
Yeah, it
wow,
really does.
100 videos, and I know nowadays everybody does it, but it's cool. We hung around, and I'm really proud of the team. I'm really proud of the family, and thank
Yeah, I'm
you,
proud too.
everyone.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thomas, ooh, Nick versus CJ on Let's Rumble Saturday. I would love to have either one or both of those people
Oh,
on Let's Rumble.
all right, Will. I again, just you weren't. I forgot to even tell you.
What?
So last night the show ends, and I got Ali and CJ, and we're just vibing. So we end up staying on for an hour. So we called it after hours. So now we got wrestling news after hours. So tune in for the after hours. Even if you're not there for the show, just come check out and see if we're here. Because some nights we just don't want to go home. But Nick and our boy CJ were, kind of difference of opinion with AEW versus WWE. And, kind of got in the argument. Same with myself and CJ. I don't quite see eye to eye. But you see Thomas here. So we did talk about both of them being present on Saturday for Let's Rumble. And I think Nick will be in the chats. And if he wants, we can see other options. But yeah, we're ready to rumble. We want to hear them argue it out. So
Hell yeah.
that's what we wanted that show to be. And it's taken time to develop it. But we're a few episodes in, and now we're getting exactly what we wanted for that episode, or that show, is just people talking and spitting, everything they got, and keep the gloves above the waist, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely if Nick or CJ or both want to be on Let's Rumble, well, I think both of them will be kicking around in the chats. But yeah, definitely, I would 100% be fine with that. I think that would be a huge fantasy matchup between fans. Well, CJ's more of a streamer now, but
No, it's this close.
yeah,
He's got the bug.
man, CJ's so good though, man. I mean, it would be sick to talk to him, and it would be interesting to talk to Nick. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
Mhm.
would 100% be supportive of that. I'd be shut up and take my money. But yeah, 100%. And then let's see this. I'm Team Nick after CJ comments about old school WWF being NXT level up.
Yes, you offended all the people above. I mean, he had Ali in his corner because they're both youngins, and um, I know you're a little different as far as you've taken a lot of it in. So
Yeah,
DJ was very opposed to old school wrestling. So that's what we like. We got 5, 6 different people on this channel, and everyone comes with a different point of view and a different opinion. Chris gets mad at me every time I bring up the fact that I still not a huge Moxley fan. He thinks I'm dumb.
uh,
It's just the way it is.
yeah. Oh man, that's insane. Well, yeah, this is our channel. This is where we go to Rumble, and yeah, that's it for the old tier list of Universal Champions you could see on your screen right there. And yeah, I mean, anything else you want to say, KJ?
He's like, man, I want to get off this stream, and this boy keeps talking. The only
No,
other
it's good.
The only other thing we did talk about to the fans last night is we are going to try and do have a little fun with the fans out there, and more fans that want to get involved. And sometimes people want to, we can't have a team of 40 people. It's going to be real tricky to get everybody on air.
Can't
We'd
have
end
an
up
army.
on, right? But with
Yeah,
that being said, we are going to do a contest, and we're going to do a contest to give the fans a chance to co-host a show of their choosing, whether it's the tier list or the news or watch party. There will be some rules and regulations to go with how you will get involved, but it will involve you cutting a promo on cam and tagging us and sending it our way. And we'll let you know when that kicks off, and we'll figure out from there how and who is going to win. Once we do, you get to pick a show to co-host. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that, folks.
yeah, definitely, and it will be very interesting here. Oh, how ironic! On the little ticky thing underneath the screen, you'll find all our socials, so you could send it to either one of the five of us, and yeah, we'll be sure to check them out and judge them and see who the big winner is. So yeah, I think it will be a definitely a fun contest and everything, and the chance to host a good show of your choosing. Yeah,
Right.
I think it would be very very interesting to see how this goes and to see how many people kick in.
Yes, and winners do have to pass the the psychoanalysis on the way through the door before we let you live on screen. So just put
Yeah,
that out there.
not like it's gonna be one of those live news interruptions where they just scream out something and run away.
Right. Have somebody have a meltdown. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I got about
Yeah.
Bud.
So, yeah, this was Thursday. So you knew what that meant. A tier list, a quick and easy one about Universal title reigns. And yeah, every Thursday at 6 or sometimes 6:30. Uh little tier list for you guys tonight. Remember, Impact Wrestling watch party and yeah, and then we'll have the double header tomorrow and then let's rumble. Yeah, and then holy, I mean, the weekend content oh, yeah, we also have 2 independent shows on Saturday as well, 2. And, yeah, I mean, and then you have the Memory Lane series kicking in, you have the news still tomorrow, it's insane, all the
And the
stuff
news
we
was
do.
today.
Yeah, and the news from today that just streamed an hour ago, check it out. I swear to goodness, because it's
Mhm.
our 100th episode, so why wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
check it out, give us some love. It's a long list of shit to go through that we do, and do keep in mind that walking down Wrasslin Lane with the memories of Triple H has gone over 300 views. So check that out and give love to all these videos and give all the love to these to the work and to the team. They deserve the credit and then the high five. So if you haven't clicked that little thumb, do it. And yeah, again, officially, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I've got. So,
Yes.
yeah, thank you, or should I say, thank you for over 130, and thank you for 100 videos, and well, more to come. Thank you.
See you later. I'm not saying
Flip
anything.
side.
Yeah.